every percent.
Welcome to 298.
Right.
We talk about anything and anybody with no judgment,
And
with
different listens.
about what should and can be done and said.
Big facts.
Yo, about the show and personal. So here we are. We're back.
Better than ever.
Better than ever.
Our Diddy Bop together.
Yeah.
For sure.
Alright. So let's get this show on the road. So I am your host, Ajax.
And I'm your host, Rashawn Ali. Y'all already know what it is.
Also known as Fly Rod.
Fly Rider, real.
And today we have our guest,
Sage Sevenson.
Sage Sevenson.
What does that mean?
Means a couple things. So, you know, I'm like big into anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite shows is Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay.
So that's where the seven comes from, the seven sins. And
Okay.
Sage is kind of always been my name. People call me Sage
Mm-hmm.
because no one can like really pronounce Sajus.
Your last name,
So I was just call me Sage. And that
Okay.
kind of stuck with me.
Okay.
But you actually spell it S-A-G-E, which is kind of like
It's
the
like the Sage.
Sage.
to J, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you cleaning the air for the 7 cents?
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Good vibes. Good vibes. Okay. I like that.
You also supposed to be here with PJ.
Yeah, he couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it. All right. Well, shout out to PJ.
Love the PJ.
For those that don't know, PJ is his rap partner,
Energy
right?
on the mic.
Energy on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
We just had the Order and Chaos project out all through 21.
Okay.
Okay.
Order and Chaos.
You had
Now-
some spins too. I seen that.
Yeah.
Independent artist.
Yeah.
Now, am I mistaken? Is it the album or is it that single Moonlight that got what 100,000 spins?
Moonlight got 50K, and the whole album together got 100.
Okay.
Hey man, that's
Listen.
not bad for somebody who's just coming out with an album and a track that still not a lot of people know who you are. But those
Still
that do.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that. That's
So
really
check
dope.
out, what's the name of the album?
Order and Chaos.
Order and
Order and
Chaos.
Chaos.
But that Moonlight single though, yeah, check it out. Fire.
100%. 100%. Man. First of all, we'd like to say thank you for even being on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
Most definitely. And again, shout out to PJ who couldn't make it today, but your energy is here, bro. And
No pun intended.
100%. You know, I'm glad I do have I'm glad that we do have you on the show today because, you know, I would like to get some perspective or a different perspective. So we try to, as he said, from different lenses. So right, we like to take a diamond and turn the diamond to look at it from different angles, right? Because we all have a way that we view life.
Right.
And when it comes to certain topics, and you know, it's interesting hearing other people's thoughts. Let me. Unless you got.
No, go ahead.
Do you think? First of all, are you in a relationship?
No.
Why?
Single. Focusing on me right now. Not in the sense of me, but just trying to focus through life right now.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Ain't
that.
nothing wrong with that. So you're not ready.
I'm not saying I'm not ready. I'm just not focused on wanting a relationship right now.
So you're not ready. Either you ready, or you not ready, or you ready and you scared.
I don't think it's so much of a thing of, I understand where you're coming from and what you're trying to push. But at the same time, it's kind of like, right now, he's more focused on the relationship that he has with his work and his projects and stuff.
Yeah.
So therefore, he's not trying to give that attention to
Anyone else, right?
anyone else.
So do you think? So let me ask you a question. I just want to push back on that a little bit. So, all right, tomorrow you wake up, deal, 30 million. Do you know how hard it is to choose anyone when anyone want to be with you?
I can imagine that's almost impossible.
But you ain't got to tell me either that you got 30 million. Just
Very
that's
true.
the thing. That's the thing that's happening these days.
Yeah, if he's gonna be an artist, he get a 30 million deal. He's gonna be everywhere.
But check this out though. He's not a flashy dude though. So it would
He's
work.
still gonna be everywhere. His music gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, but by the time it actually happens,
We don't know if he flashy till he get 30 million.
Well, That's true. That's
Yo,
true. But
I won't argue with that.
Hey, yo, listen. See, look. He got. Listen, it's a lot of.
I'm not really.
yeah, but you know what? The thing is
that
the thing that makes usually people a target in those type of circumstances is that you're doing the most.
All right, but
right.
He's an artist.
You're getting the.
He don't need that J. Cole. Listen, everybody know J. Cole, but J. Cole wasn't flashy.
Yeah. Right. And
Kendrick Lamar is not flashy.
And I appreciate him for that.
So, but
that would be the type of person that I would be.
But you know how many women in line? What Mix said, "Mom." You know how when she said, "You don't remember me with Tammy with no panties?" He said, "Mom, do you know how many with no panties?" Like, you feel me? Like, what you want?
Yeah, no. But there might be two circumstances to that though. It's either they want to go for the artist because he has the money, or they go for the artist because they appreciate the mind frame. So, right? Just like Wycliffe had said one time, you're looking at my watch, but my mind's ready to diamond. Mm-hmm. Right? So,
but how would he ever know if she's?
But that's the rare. Is that more on the rare side? That comes after the mind.
As far as what?
As far as what you were saying,
like
Wyclef was talking about.
It's Wyclef. Mm-hmm. Like, come on now, like what you?
But he said that line. It was in his first solo album, The Carnival.
Mm-hmm. Right? How it turned off on him.
Great, but he was already with the Fugees though. It's kind of like But anyway, so fast forward to the question.
So I was saying like, all right. So is it you ready but you scared of commitment, or you just, or you're not ready?
I guess so. I'd go with I'm not ready, but I'm just not.
You just don't want
it right now.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I ain't gonna. Listen, I ain't gonna. I'm
just enjoying the single life more.
Okay, so you just died now.
I guess we can say that.
I guess you can say that.
Right?
I'm dying with respect.
I mean, well, it is some type. At least you got some type of standard, right?
Yeah.
So, since we're talking about your work and project and stuff like that, so let me ask you, what's the thought process that goes into making an album? Now, understand the question. There's a couple parts to this. Mm. You're making an album, but you're not like the typical artist, right? As you said before, you're into anime, right? So I've heard that you incorporated some anime joints or references into your album. So how do you think that relates to a wide audience, or are you just shooting for a specific type of audience and be happy with that?
I guess I'm more shooting for the specific audience, but like I do try to blend it in sometimes, where it's like the references I make, most of the average person probably heard of the show or something would get it off the bat.
I mean, the reason why I'm asking is because anime, even though anime has been around for a while, but it's now catching a certain type of buzz that it didn't have before. Yeah. And we have an array of people that's starting to get into anime now. But there's so much anime out. Connect that.
Well, usually I would keep it more like, if I'm, depending on the song, if it's more of a not fully anime focused, I will, if I make an anime reference, because my thing is I'm always going to make a reference somewhere in a verse, any verse I write. Right. Depending on the song, I might make a reference to a show that's more like popular and noticeable. Like most people have seen this. Okay. But like on more closer to anime songs, I'll make references to shows that unless you watch anime, you probably haven't seen it.
All right. So, you are, how old are you now?
25.
You're 25.
I was about to say, I'm really interested in like understanding your psyche a little bit, right? And the only reason why I asked that is, you very family oriented, right? You grew up family, your family is close, right? Your mom and dad been together for years, right? For
20 plus
years, right? They was together younger than 25, right?
Oh yeah.
Way younger than 25, right? Like, so how does it feel? Do you feel pressured to be in a relationship knowing that your family, like most of your family members, core family members, your aunts and uncles, even your parents, they've been together young, like teenage, right? Like teenage years, right? Right? Do you feel pressure at 25 that you're not in a relationship and they did like do you think about it ever?
I mean, I do. I guess I think about it when everyone's like, "Yo, where's your girlfriend?" or something like that. When I go to family events, I'm like, that. But outside of that, I don't really think about it because I'm just like,
Right.
I'm out here, and when I'm ready to be in a relationship and like settle down,
I
I'll
guess that's
do
when
that.
he'll think about that process
Yeah.
of
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I always like like it's interested to seeing like your you know the thoughts of how like somebody in your position, right? Um, I sometimes I ask that with my cousins, like, you don't feel any type of pressure, and so a lot of them did say like they do every now and again. They do think about it when people ask, "Well, where your girlfriend at?" and or where your boyfriend at, and you get the lonely nights, the lonely nights. But so I always just look at like always want to know what type of pressure, like how do you feel about that?
I always wonder about that because I'm like, I get the pressure and the question in itself is like, who are you getting married? This, that. When are you gonna settle down? And someone like I guess my age and anyone who's not like really looking to settle down right now.
Why do you think that you're not looking to settle down right now?
But wait a minute, why? Wait, he's
why
only
do we-
25 though. Like
I got
like,
No,
I'm
no,
not saying
no, I'm gonna
no,
answer that
but
question.
you gotta realize the reason it's the thought process. I'm not saying that he needs to be in a relationship right now. By no means. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
Listen, I'm asking
just like
listen. If you come from a circle that does something, right, and then now the second generation comes and does something different than what they're known all their life or seen all their life, I like to know how different. How do you feel about it? What's the like? What keeps you strong of making the decision? Like, you know what? I know they all did that, but I'm doing this. Right?
Yeah, if you're being a rebel without a cause.
Well, I'm not saying even being a rebel because if I'm not even saying that you gotta be a rebel. Maybe you just ain't find the person that.
But I think this too. Like even if you have this example in front of you, and you decide to go astray, right? You're not going astray because you're doing it out of spite.
No,
you're going astray because you still have yourself to live for first. But at the end of the day, those values are still there. It's still a core value.
Of course.
So by the time you do get into a relationship, whether it's 28, 29, or whenever you do decide, no. Or maybe 50.
Now, if you wait till you're 50, you wild.
Whenever woman gets that, she's gonna get the leftovers of the leftovers of the leftovers. And he has no choice but to settle down.
Yeah, 100%.
But the core values is gonna be there, and at the end of the day, when that relationship does start, that means you took time to find somebody that you feel like also will value those core values.
Well, of course, maybe that's why I said that's why I want him to get to. Maybe he just didn't find the person that he can.
You just want another wedding to go to. Like, that's what it is.
I love these weddings now.
I get it. We're living in tough times. We've been going to a lot of funerals, so let's get to a wedding.
I get onto what you were saying. Yeah, I get it because I'm like, I'm not looking for it right now.
Yeah,
I'm just more focused on me, and at the same time, I haven't found that person. I'm like,
that's 100%. The circumstances is totally different, which I do understand. The makeup, you might have the DNA in you, but the circumstances is definitely different, right? Your parents grew up underneath a different circumstance than you. But it's also, Gene, we have to bear witness that a lot of successful men normally have a woman that was there
from day one.
From day one. So, right? And I also do know when men become successful without a woman being there, bruh.
Everything that comes after is just...
These women got hard problems with
they're money magnets.
No, not even the money magnet part, but the nigga would be for me like,
You wasn't
Whitney shooting in the gym. He has a different type of attitude towards women. Like,
right, because you can see them coming. You know why they're approaching you. Like, hey, daddy. Fuck out of here, man. Like,
no, for real. Like, yeah, but no, big fact.
I think that person just definitely attracts them, but they look for something that just matches them. Like, you want to find the person that matches you.
100%. I definitely agree. Let me ask you a question, because we hear this, men is trash, right? So I definitely want to hear your perspective on this.
Especially from a younger generation.
100%. So, like, men is trash, right? And I always say, before I go into, I always say, is men trash, or are you just attracting trash men? And if you're attracting trash men, what does that say about you? Right? If all of the, like, you talking about, no, like, I don't hear accountability. All I hear is every guy that you have messed with.
What did Cat Williams say about the pussy's attractive? I forgot the line, but
my thing with that
I know which one that you talk about. Hey, yo.
My whole thing with that is just men trash, women trash. Everyone is who they are. Who you find and what you experience is what you're gonna go base that off of.
Okay,
You're gonna say what you say has to, like, anything negative definitely comes from something that you've experienced personally.
Okay.
So when a woman says men are trash, this is her experiences have been trash.
So what does that say about the person that's always, I'm talking about,
in the trash
relationship? Always in trash relationships?
Well, I think that there's either a lesson that person hasn't learned, or there's just a cycle that she just can't break out of.
So that means that, but the question is,
it's
really
internal.
When you start taking accountability for yourself before you start claiming somebody else's trash. Yeah.
Because sometimes one thing they were saying that when that they start saying, like, the difference between, this is another topic for another time. I didn't really want to jump in this topic, but while we here, that when it comes to, like, the abusive relationships, right? Men might be more physical than women. Like, so men would be more physical, but women be more mentally abusing, as in, like, they try to go on a smear campaign, like they do bullying, like that way, right? So a lot of times a person could deal with someone, right, that did them wrong, and then they put a blanket statement and say all men trash. No, or might say that this person is trash, and this person probably is a good person, but they did something that you didn't like, or maybe to you, and you have a valid reason, and then now you trying to, it's all together because it didn't work out, and you walking away, you automatically saying that this person is a bad person, smearing this person's name, and then now, no, that person is a good person. Y'all just had a problem, and y'all just why couldn't y'all just walk to, like, saying that it just didn't work out, not making this person out to be a bad person.
My thing is this, right?
That's everyone. That's like, because that's like a very, I guess, not niche, personal, like, thing to, like, do a whole smear campaign against someone just because they did something with you. That person could be a great person,
but that's just anger talking.
But that's just that person.
But here's my thing, though. I with what you just said, what's happening is that, again, the person is not taking accountability, because if every relationship that you go into you claim to be trash, you actually have to look into yourself.
That's right.
Is it me at this point? Like, if I'm on trash number 3, goddamn.
Like, and you don't hear no accountability. Like, you ain't do nothing wrong.
You never did anything wrong, but it just so happens that the person is being trash to you.
And listen, and just because a person is a good person, don't mean that they good for you.
Right. That's another good point.
Right, a person could be a good person, just maybe not
the compatibility. The compatibility is not there.
And sometimes people just don't want to take accountability and say, no, we just not compatible.
Didn't work.
Like, just say this didn't work out. Yeah. Like, I think the person might be, or she might be a good person. Let's just say, because men do this still, right? When that she might be a good person, but now you about to smear this girl name across the what's name all because she didn't
because
it didn't work out.
So what happens is that you're not happy, so you decide that if I'm not happy, this person can't be happy either. So I'm gonna go out there, fuck this person's name up, and just make him look dirty so that somebody else doesn't even think about getting into a relationship with them because I know I'm a good person and they fucked that up.
And I don't get see that whole thinking I never really got.
Right.
It's
like
it's
but
pure pettiness.
yeah, just like pure like pettiness is one thing, but like just going after a whole person, just smear campaign everything just because that didn't work out for you.
You know, the reason why I don't like pointing fingers is because, like, when women say men is trash, all men is trash, men is trash. Our first teachers is our mothers.
Right.
If the men is trash, what does that say about the women?
Right.
And if the women is trash, what does that say about the men?
Yeah, but what we saying that what does they also say about their mothers if that's what you're trying to get to? Because if a man is really trash,
who taught him that?
Who taught him that, right?
Exactly.
So
your story starts at home.
And depending on how this person grew up, whether it's a single mother, together family, or single father,
story starts at home.
The trashness starts somewhere. If there's really trash in that corner.
This is my point. I'm saying women my point is women, some, we're not gonna say, some women like to blame men and some men like to blame the women.
Right.
I'm saying that if we are pointing the fingers at each other, there's enough fingers to be pointed around, and we can show that the problem lies with both sides,
right?
Not just specifically one side. So we get to a point to where the bitter men be like, oh, all these men, they all crazy, you know what I mean? The whole 9 yards, and we got bitter women saying all men is trash. What does that say about the opposite sex if one or the other is trash?
So let's bring it to reality a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. You had relationships. Obviously, you're not in one now. So what caused that last relationship to fall apart? Were you being the trash man? Was she being the trash woman? Or the compatibility wasn't there?
It was the compatibility wasn't there.
And you guys both agreed on the separation?
No,
I'm just asking.
I don't know about both agreed, but I...
You initiated the separation. Okay. All right.
So when did you realize that y'all wasn't compatible?
It was like deep into it, I guess. We were a year or so into.
Okay. Wait. So where was the compatibility not meeting? Was it the sex? Was it the mental? Was it behavior? Or was it just the overall character?
A little bit of all of that.
God damn it.
A little bit of it all.
Yeah. You might have to fix some things if you have problems in all those aspects.
On both ends.
On both ends. I mean,
it just wasn't compatible.
It just wasn't compatible. It was more. It's not what I want.
So walking away from that relationship, is there something that you feel like you could fix, so that there's no reoccurrence in the next relationship?
Yeah, that's what I like to do with most relationships. Is like come into the next one knowing.
So what was your problem
there?
So what was your toxic trait? I would ask her, but she's not here to defend herself. So I'm asking you.
We're gonna ask you.
What is your toxic?
What is
trait?
Toxic?
See, we already know his toxic trait already.
He's not taking responsibility.
What do you mean? I take complete responsibility. You're almighty. I take complete responsibility for everything.
I'm gonna need some more of this little snake drink right here. Cheers.
Cheers.
So what's your toxic trait? What do you think your toxic trait is? I'm gonna start. Mine is.
Give me an example.
Alright, so my toxic trait is.
If you need an example,
you're toxic. Yo, big toxic. Yo, hey yo.
I can't.
My toxic.
Just one more sip. You'll tell us the truth,
right? Listen, my toxic trait is I tell someone to stay away, and I really don't want them to stay away.
So you're not being truthful. You're not being honest.
Well, it's a little bit of both because if
you're playing sheep.
No, I'm really can stay to myself. Like, give me some time. But if you give me that time, you're done. So it's like I need the space, but I don't need the space.
So you really wanna see if this person is really here for you. So you tell them to walk away, and then see if they really walk away. But you don't really want them to walk away.
I really don't want
them. But when they do walk away, now you're like, all right. You're toxic.
Yo, that's my toxic.
That is very toxic, bro. You're putting somebody to the test without even knowing.
I said I'm on a healing journey, dog. So shout out to my book that's about to come out. Pre-orders coming.
What's the title of the book?
I've definitely
The Journey to Self-Actualization.
The Journey to Self-Actualization.
That's right.
I hope you read your own book.
I have.
I've definitely been in a relationship where that I noticed that toxic trait, but
so you the same way?
No, I've noticed it in my other part, ex-partner.
Wait, isn't that what animes do? Though? You ever watch it? Walk away. And when they do, the eyes get all big. Wait, what are you doing?
Hey, yo.
That's called. Wait, you're a tsundere.
But this is my point. This is why it's so toxic because I really want my space, but I know if you give me the space, I think like you're done up. Like for real, yeah. But I really want my space though. Like I need to be by my. Do you know what it is? The type I'm solving my own problem right now. Listen, I'm solving my own problem right now. Listen, give me the space, but don't leave the house. If you leave the house, or don't let me leave the house. Be like, listen, no, you could go in the other room. Mm-hmm. I don't need to be in the same room with you. You need your own space. All right. But because
I'll be there for you.
Yeah, whenever you
need me. That's what you need, bro.
All right, you're a tsundere.
Listen.
All right, so let me say this though.
Oh, this is about to sound crazy when you put this out. Well, listen, I'm healing.
Too late.
I just saw my own problem though, right on the show.
All right, cool. So with that being said, were you about to say something?
No, I was trying to think of my toxic trait. I don't know. Maybe.
What's your toxic trait?
Me?
I think.
Do I look like I got a toxic trait? Yeah, right. Do I look like I got a toxic trait?
I just need to understand what a toxic trait is.
Well, at least you have somebody that love you on your toxic traits.
Right, and I love them too with their toxic traits. You know what I mean? But we're compatible in that sense of understanding. You know what? I understand. You understand.
Somebody's willing to deal with your toxic trait. So I'm asking you, give me one. Just give me one toxic trait.
A toxic trait, man. All right, you know what?
Oh.
This is one of them things that I still struggle with, but I'm so comfortable in that aspect that I'm okay with it. Because look, it's like you needing your space, right? So if we ever have a disagreement about something and I'm really frustrated, so instead of me blowing up, overreacting, whatever, I could be in the house. You're in the house, and I'm gonna have to say nothing to you. I could go 3 days, 4 days. I could go a week. I could go a week and be like, I'm good. You know what? Because it's almost kind of like this a time and space that I need, and I forcefully took it because you upset me.
Yo, you're toxic.
I know that. But I'm not being. I can't. What's the word? It's like I'm taking that moment. Huh?
Yeah, I think I have a little bit of that.
You have a little bit of that? I'm taking that moment. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna use this time to have a space to myself. It's like a staycation within myself.
But you know what? I can deal with that. It's the leaving part. Don't leave.
But that's the thing, though. I have to fight myself not to leave because I would be like, you know what? Like, yo, I'm gonna just take this whole opportunity. I'm out.
100%. But I know if you let me go, there's no don't leave. You're not leaving. You can stay.
But that's exactly what you want. You want the shirt pulling. No.
Listen,
Why you do this?
All the
Why
toxic.
you keep doing this?
I watch too much TV, different world, and the whole nine.
So you're a soap opera generation.
Yo, listen. What you want me to say about the Bell and different world and Martin and all of that? You hit me? Yo, listen.
Step Gina.
Exactly.
See?
Listen.
That's
But
toxic.
I just solved the problem. Just keep me in the house until we solve the problem.
So lock all the doors.
You can't leave and I leave. You can't leave and I can't leave. If that happens,
should I stay? Should I go? Anyway, so now that we got that out
but
there,
he still ain't say his toxic trait.
I did.
No, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Toxic trait. Let's see.
You don't want to seem vulnerable.
No, it's not even that. I'm trying to think of it because it's just like
He a narcissist. He can't even
I
think
am
of a toxic
one.
trait.
If he is a narcissist, we know where he gets it from.
Well,
Shout out.
Yo.
All right, so I guess my toxic trait is that I guess I don't take things seriously.
Okay, when
they're
supposed to,
seriously
when you're supposed to.
Like if me and my girl argue, we're like crazy arguing.
Okay.
I'll be like, "That's crazy." I'll just try to just bring comedy into it every time. I'd be like, "That's crazy." So Five Guys or Smash Burger.
So you're completely disregarding
Her feelings.
her feelings.
I wouldn't say that.
Yo,
I wouldn't say
That's
that.
toxic.
that's very toxic
No, that's
because
very,
what that
very
does is
toxic.
it enrages the person because you're not allowing them to.
No, but they definitely get their feelings out because I definitely hear it and I'm like,
But you
yes.
disregard it.
But you disregard it.
I don't disregard it.
You
I
interrupt it and you disregard it.
No, I hear it all,
You
and
don't
I'm just
care.
like, no, I care clearly if we're still together. I listen, and I'm just like, let's solve this.
No, but see,
somewhere
the
else.
thing, you just said something. You said I clearly hear
Hear
it,
it.
but you're not listening to
It's
it.
two different things. I heard what you said.
All right,
Sure.
so
But you disregard because you don't take it as you don't take it serious.
But I do take it seriously. Like if it's serious.
but you know what? I do have that toxic part too.
If it's like
No,
super
because
serious,
if
I'm like,
it-
yeah, sure, I'm gonna take this.
No, but if somebody's being redundant in things that they're saying, you're losing me.
100%.
And I blank out.
Yo,
Right.
and then you be like, bro, I know what you're about to say. You've been saying the same thing.
I'm not
like,
even saying all of that. I'm not even
Oh.
saying all of that.
Oh,
What's crazy
Oh,
is
you
that
He's trying to keep his composure.
you know what's crazy? Every fight I've been in with anyone, I understand the whole fight from where it stemmed from and everything.
Okay.
And did it start with you?
Probably, but some of the times, most of the times.
Okay.
But when it didn't, I was like, all right, that's crazy. I'll take the blame. Sure, why not?
All right. So stemming from this, right? I have a question. You're 25. You're obviously out there, grown man. Now, for your age bracket, your generation, what do you think?
Listen, we gotta be. That's what I'm talking because I don't claim half my generation because they be on some wild stuff. But
Okay, but we're talking about the age bracket,
yeah.
right? Which I think most of them fall in the same aspect of growing up. It's kind of like the over. And I'm not gonna say overbearing parents, but we don't talk about helicopter parents and you know everything that comes into that. But at this point, this generation seems to be a little not fully guided as to what could be their future. So what do you think the transition is, or why do you think the transition is from going from a boy to a man? And what makes a boy going to a man feel like?
Deep questions. All right.
That's a good one.
I guess it's more of as you grow up, the more responsibilities you get.
Okay. Speak on that.
Mm, moving out, having to pay rent. If some of my friends have kids,
Okay.
so that's definitely one.
You thought about kids?
I don't think.
I don't think like that.
Okay, I've seen what they're going through. I'm okay.
So do you think those people are having a hard transition, or this is it's not, we can't say it's something that you plan, but are you looking at that?
Some of them,
some of them plan that.
Some of them,
some of them do plan, but I think when people, like I'll say 25 and younger, plan on having children. When I say plan, I'm not saying because life is great and I have so much love that I would like to give it to my own. It's usually people that want to have kids because they had a void or something in their childhood and they just can't wait to be a parent and kind of like fix that.
Like let them live what they couldn't.
Yeah, in some sense, but you wanna show this child that, or you want to give to this child what you didn't have or what you feel like you didn't have. It's kind of like
think that a little bit,
huh?
Don't all parents think that?
No. I'm talking about the ones that actually do plan on having children. Because at one point in my life, I must have been like 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm like, yo, if a girl gets pregnant right now, I'm cool with that because, you know what I mean? I want to have, my little man or my little girl with me. And then she's going to be that child that has almost everything. Meaning at the time, she would have he or she would have the two parents. She would have all my attention, because there was a time where I was living with my mom, and then things shifted, and I started living with my dad. So at one point, I only had a small time frame where I had both of them, and when they were together, they might as well had not been. You see what I'm saying? So I plan on having children so that I could give them what I didn't have.
I kind of sort of like your age when I planned my oldest daughter. I actually had that idea, like definitely wanting to be. So I understand exactly what you're saying. I had that as well as like wanting to give my daughter or son at the time, for whatever what I didn't have. I didn't grow with my dad, right? So I'm like that, but we actually planned 6 months prior, like change diets, preparing. We thought about for 6 months what we wanted our child to, and she wanted the girl, so I knew my first child was definitely gonna be a girl, right? Because that's what she wanted, and what we wanted my oldest daughter look and act exactly what we thought of. Like it's not even a game. Like I wish if one day we get my children's mother on here and talk her ish.
Yeah.
Before anything's gonna be on here to talk her ish, right? But she can bear witness. My oldest daughter Zoe acts and look exactly what we thought of. Exactly.
Okay.
And that's being planned 6 months prior. And I think that's a dope thing though. Like I think, instead of hearing like I don't like saying this term, but accident babies. Like because it happens like that. Like I didn't know I was gonna have the twins.
Well, you playing for one, you got two, so and that's not an accident. It was just supposed to be. But coming back to the question,
yeah.
So the transition, is it a tough thing to go through?
Yeah, I think every transition in general, like when you're living one way and you changes, it's always tough to go through.
So how you think you're doing?
And this I'm surviving.
You're surviving in this process.
I'm beginning to be better, but
Okay. I mean, Everybody goes through their own journey, and you know what? It's how and what you learn on the journey, and what you take with that to to make the next step easier.
Mm.
But I get it. I get it. Woo.
Yeah, man. What? Let me ask you a question. So, obviously, you want this rock star lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? I see. That's. I mean, you can't do music and not thinking that you ain't gonna get the rock, especially the music that you like to do, thinking that you're not gonna get a rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, are you prepared for it?
I'm preparing for it.
I like that.
Okay.
You're preparing for it. You got it.
PJ's not here, but on behalf of PJ, do you think he's preparing for it or he's ready for it?
A little bit of both. He's preparing for it, and he's very much
Okay.
ready
So
for
you
it.
both you guys are both in the same place, and you're preparing together, right? Okay. Cool.
So what? Tell me what's your idea in the next 5 years? You be 30, right?
Yeah.
What's your idea? You about to be 26 when?
December.
Oh yeah, I know you had a late birthday. Yeah, cause. So where do you see yourself at in the next 5 years? You 30. You be 30.
On tour.
On tour.
On tour.
All right. Relationship.
Still debating.
I think around there, probably.
So no children.
At that point, you'll be too busy to actually bring that up. I think it'll be selfish to actually bring that child around that time. If you're touring and
like,
so let me ask
you know what's funny? PJ actually said one thing. He was like, I want to live this life, like this whole party life, rock style tour life, and at the end of that, give it all up so I can raise a child.
Yeah, I like that. Let me ask you a question.
You're tired with a bang.
What do you think, right, is an idea of if the average young man, when do you think the average young man should be married and start children? How old?
Are we looking at today's times or idealistically?
Listen, I ask you specifically.
Okay.
Today, in these times.
All right. So I want to say this. I understand your
think?
question. I'm going to start off by saying that, of course, each generation is different and how their mind frame and responsibility factors are. I'll say from his generation to ours, because it's about a maybe 10, 15, 20-year gap, right? That idealistically, how things are going, if you are doing things that you need to be doing and enjoying all the perks that life has to bring, especially day by day, there's new things that's out there. They're always gonna keep coming, but I think respectively, a man probably is ready to really settle down, get married, and have children, and have the career that he wants. I say probably the good age would probably be anywhere between 27 and 30.
I'm not mad at that. I think that's too late.
No.
For me, I think it's too late. But but I'm not mad at that. I can see why you say 27 and 30 because I was just 30 and 20. I was just
understand this,
right. I'm fresh. I'm 33, so I was just fresh 3 years later. Right. So I do understand exactly what you're saying, and I think that, and you calculating these times, it sounds pretty much right.
Give them time to get their rocks off, and give them time to
stop. You know that. See, this is the shenanigans.
Wait.
See, that's the topic. I was about to go into. I was leading into that. I don't want to. I'm gonna bring that back because I hate when people try to say, "Yo, nah, he not ready yet. He's still living his life." You're never ready until you get married. You're never ready. And you thought that you was a horn dog before then, before marriage?
No,
you even the pressure is even much when you got.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, while you're getting your rocks off, then you actually find the one that you feel like, yo, I could keep giving these rocks to her.
Yeah, but I got you. But what I'm saying is,
you know what I'm saying?
You're not ready.
It's usually around that time.
But you're not ready until you do it, though. There's no. It's almost hard. I'm not going to say none. I'm not going to make it absolute, but it's almost impossible for a person to say, you know what, I'm done, or for you to really project that, you know what, I'm going to be dealing with this one person and that's just it. I'm talking about as a guy, right? To say that, yeah, I got everything out. You thought that you got everything out.
I'm not saying you got everything out. Yo, what I'm saying
this is my point. Like, I think that this is the reason why I think that. I think that. See, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I think that you need to marry early on. Let's just make that perfectly clear. Way before 27.
So, as a man, what age would that be?
You don't become really a man until you start taking responsibilities.
Okay, but okay, go ahead. So,
right. So
what age would that be?
Mature, when a man start thinking other than himself, he start viewing life differently. And men don't start thinking other than themselves until they take on a wife and children.
So, what age do you think that would be, or should be?
I think that if you are going to college, you can be looking for your wife in college, and y'all build from there, right? If you're going to college. So if you
I don't think you're looking for a wife in college. I think you're looking for.
That's the problem.
No.
If I go to law school, I'm looking for my wife in law school. If I go to law school, I'm looking for my wife in law school. Like, and
but that's you, Rod. Like you're coming from a different system. You're coming from a different system.
I got you.
Okay, you have the nation behind you with this idea of. Listen, we are men and we learn how to court and do it. That's different.
But my point is, I'm not saying that, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the best strategy to finding a wife. Like, I think that if you don't go to college now, say if you don't want to go to college, right? You don't want to be a construction worker, right? You need to start looking now. Because that you don't need.
So do I need to start finding a wife in the construction field, like the one that's picking up cement buckets?
No, but you know what you can do? You can find her at Home Depot because.
Here we go with that.
Find her at Home Depot and what's that?
So on my break for my construction job, I'm gonna go to Home Depot and find me a wife because she might be a
homeowner. Listen, I'm showing you.
She's in the lumber aisle.
100% talking about
looking for that wood.
So where should a musician find their wife?
At Guitar Center.
Listen, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. It's hard for musicians. You got. Drake said go to the strip club. But nah.
Nope.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Like, it's a little different for musicians. That's another topic off camera. So listen.
Might have you on camera. Nothing's off camera.
Nah, to be perfectly honest with you, like, I think that really in reality, when you a competent man, well-rounded, I think that you can really meet. That doesn't really matter her profession at that point in time. In other words, what field
that doesn't matter her profession?
No, what I'm saying, what field she's in. Like, for me, I can deal with a doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur. It doesn't really matter for me. But I do also understand some men only, like, they need a certain type of a woman. Like, when I say the certain type, like, they only could deal with. Some men can't handle a business-minded woman.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pressure. Listen.
But they're also, if we're talking about today's times, a lot of guys are looking for the so-called trophy wife aspect.
Yeah, they
right. They need somebody to just
I'm giving y'all game. Stop all that just cute face in the whole 9 yards. You know you're gonna get tired of her when she start losing her physical attraction. She's not raising your child with her looks. She's raising her child with her mom. So at the end of the day, no, this is she raising your children. But she can't. You have the prettiest children all you want because your wife is bad. But if they idiots, then like your wife is an idiot. She's only gonna be passing off idiocy to you while you at work 8-10 hours a day putting in work. Come on.
Right.
It just doesn't gonna make sense. You want substance, a woman with substance. But again, a lot of men do you think you can deal with a woman that's like a entrepreneur mindset woman? She's about her business, getting to the bread every single day.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Sounds like a fun time. Huh? Sounds like a fun time.
Sounds like a fun time? Yeah, but before you get to the fun times though, you gotta be able to pull that.
You gotta be 100%.
That's nigga hitting, bro. They got niggas talking tonight.
And also, it's just someone that's gonna motivate you too.
I mean, yeah.
Depends, but she might not have time to motivate you because she's all about her business. Like she's just gonna use you for the dick and keep it moving.
And sometimes she don't know how to speak life into you. Like you could be motivated by her actions though. Like it depends on how you take it.
Right.
Yeah. So everybody is different. Like we not creating a woman with all of the best qualities. She gonna have flaws too. Right? Understand that she's gonna have flaws.
Everyone has flaws.
100%. So, but business minded, man. Listen, let me tell you something. That's what a lot of women, business minded women, complaining about now. Like dudes get intimidated. They don't know because they got some self insecurities within themselves. They don't know how to deal with a powerful woman in that aspect. Not saying women that's not business minded is not powerful, but we just talking about a particular woman. Got to clear that up, you know. But some men don't know how to deal with like letting a woman have like great in her own right. Some men needs women. Now, I'm not saying that your woman should abandon her duty. I'm gonna call it duty, right? Because that's when you get married, it's a duty, really, reality. Her duties of being a woman and a nurturer and speaking life into you, right? And sometimes women be like, why do I gotta motivate you? Because you're my wife. All right, stop it. I have bad days too.
You gotta motivate me because you know what? If I fail, we both fail.
100%. Like, well, you should be. I'm self motivated, but I run out of gas every now and then. So stop the shenanigans. And is a man when he come home, a man should be coming home and refueling, right? He should be refueling because by the time I leave and get spanked by the world, right, or really I'm spanking the world, I'm tired.
Right.
I'm coming back in and I need somebody to give me the juice. All right.
But a lot of guys, you know, they get spanked by the world and then they run home because they feel like this is where their place of solace should be. And then they walk in the door like, oh fuck, it's the same thing. They go right to the bar.
And they go right to the bar. You see those men sitting in their car. Listen, ladies, let me say this to you. You can say whatever you want. You might say, you could point the finger at somebody else. If you live with your man and your man want to spend 10 hours in the barbershop, or when he pulls up at your house, he's sitting in his driveway, or if, for an hour, things, you're not making that home a peaceful state. And
when he's not coming home to decongest, he's in the car. To the point where it becomes a routine. Oh, you look in the driveway, 5:15.
On the phone with you. That nigga in the driveway.
He's not even talking to nobody. He's just sitting in the car.
just
that you have to. You got to be the problem.
You got to change that situation. You got to change. No matter how much you argue, like you get mad at certain things. One thing for certain, communication is key. And if communication is always arguing, like he can't even say anything to you, everything that he says is you sensitive and get all like a shutdown and it's always something else, you don't realize
or you feel attacked
or you feeling it. I hate that, like, because that's something that people, that's a tactic that they use. Why, I feel like you're attacking me. No, I'm speaking honest. Like, if you can't deal with the words that I'm saying, women, I'm telling you, you're building a wedge. Your man should be able to, and you also as well, you should be able to go to your man and talk, not whine and yell, right. But just have a conversation, talk, express your feelings. And if a man can express his, oh man, you only building a wedge.
And I'm going to tell you a toxic trait that I see in a lot of relationships. When somebody's telling you about yourself,
That's what you want.
They're telling you about yourself, and then instead of you taking the constructive criticism so that you guys can be better in the future,
you take that time.
You take that shit like, oh, so I'm the problem. I'm not saying anything to you anymore.
yo, bro.
yo. That's a very toxic.
You're triggering me right now. Yo. Or you know what I hate? If I take the time to give you a constructive criticism, now all of a sudden now you want to flip it and now you want to give me constructive criticism. Man, you wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh, so how about you? How about when you,
bro? Like, pick your own time. Right now,
it's
my
time. I'm trying to tell you something.
I'm trying to tell you, like,
for us,
100%.
We can talk about that later. Right now,
we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. Stop trying to flip it because now you're not trying to be. You're what they like to say about us. You're dismissing
my feelings.
Right?
Females do it too.
Yo, women do it. Women do it too. So at the end of the day, damn, yo, look, we had to take a side.
Okay. So listen. On a side note, what's the next single coming out?
Well, the next project's out now.
Wait, there's really another project?
It's out now, right now.
Yeah.
What's it
called? Exhale the hell, inhale heaven.
Yep.
What?
Exhale the hell, inhale heaven.
Exhale the hell, inhale heaven.
I just call it Exhale for short.
So is it 4 H's? No. Exhale. No. I'm sorry. That's E. Okay. So. Never mind. So exhale the hell, inhale heaven is out now. Right? And that's iTunes?
Everywhere.
Everything.
What's the single coming out of that?
Single for that, I'm leaning towards. It's called Show Me.
And that's both of you guys together, you or?
This whole project's me solo.
Oh, this is a solo project.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys ready to jump into some solo projects?
Yeah, he's working on another collab project with our homie Red Eyes right now. That's coming out in the fall.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we just because we just be in the studio making a lot of music. So
I get it. I would just think that it'll be more banging to keep the solo project. That's just my thinking. To keep the solo projects for later, build it up. Of course, put it together. But you guys got mad singles on that first project.
Yeah, we're still
you guys should be dumping them shits out and making videos or whatever.
We're still pushing them.
All right, cool.
That's what's up, man.
Everything.
That's what's up.
Hey, all right. So, with that being said, any questions? Any thoughts?
You guys got Drake or Kendrick?
I got Drake.
Wow.
That's an artist. No Drake.
So they both got projects coming.
Well, Kendrick's is teased. Drake's is date is I think next week.
Kendrick never put out an album that was better than Nothing Was the Same.
Okay.
Nothing Was the Same. It's crazy.
I mean, I just like good music. I can't really debate.
But
Nothing Was the Same as Drake's best album to me.
Yeah.
But each one of these artists are completely different. They got their own vibes. They got their own times.
But as an artist, Drake as an artist. Now, if you talk on level, I think if you wanted to talk about like the flow, I mean, even then I like Drake flow better. But if you're talking about like rapping, Kendrick got him. But that's only one aspect.
Don't look at this young man. I see you looking at this bottle. You don't want none of this.
I'm okay.
This is from the Ivory Coast. My friend brought this from the Ivory Coast.
That's for another day.
Yeah, I promise you.
But yeah, we definitely think y'all. Shout out to Yeezy dropped today. That thing was fire.
I'm about to listen to it.
But, I'm about to download it. Yeah. So again, thank you for watching. I'm sorry it took so long for us to come back, but
you'll see us every week.
Promise.
Promise.
All right, so you heard that, right? You heard that. So
every week.
So again, we'd like to thank our guest, Sage Severin.
Thank you for having me.
All right, cool. Anytime, man. Anytime. Doors open. All right. I'm your host, Ajax.
I'm your host, Fly Ride. And this is our guest, Sage Severin.
Yes, sir. And with same peace.
Deuce.